So I wanted to show what the fucking shit. This is going to be a short video showing what I am up to in the new league of Path to Exile. And I did my usual sorceress, which using, well, first of all, I'm using only skill that I got during the questing. The straight off the bat, the only thing I bought was this elm, which with these two support, which helps having a better cold snap and a better creeping frost. Everything else was self-found. Just need to put that there. Yep. So the build is frost witch, and you use a creeping frost against tougher monsters while you just destroy smaller monsters with the cold snap. And this thing refreshes itself if you get frenzy charge. And yeah, at the boss it doesn't work. Well, it works, but it won't you'll need to wait the second cast time basically before using it again. And the way I built it is that I have a bunch of summons, and the summons deal some damage. They're not completely useless. And I chose one carrion and 2 stone golems, along with a bunch of zombies. And yeah, I'm using also the Reaper. And the way I linked all of that is that I've got the Reaper and the zombies with power charge and critical. And why am I using power charge and critical? Well, I'm using it simply because it dropped at some point. But yeah, of course there's better thing than that to use. And here I've got my stone golem with the carrion golem, and I dropped a brutality which I'm using there. And the reason I'm putting a brutality there, well, first of all, is because of the color of the sockets. I don't have any other choice. But secondly, at the bosses, yeah, the Reaper and zombie end up dying. So at least these two stay alive a long time, and yeah, you get the benefit of brutality longer. And I'm using decoy totem, and this thing is super good. The enemies target they tend to target the totem, so you're helping your summons and you're not taking the damage while this thing is up. What else do I want to talk about? Yeah, apart from that, Frost Bomb and Frostbite is to lower the resist. Arcane Cloak gives you a temporary boost. And yeah, that's it for the skills. I'm gonna show the skill tree. And the most important thing to understand is I went for spiritual aid. So all the boosts to minion damage goes to my character. And the other the most important thing is also this thing, mind over matter. So I figured that since you don't get any aura in the ruthless unless you drop them, of course, or retreat for them, I just decided, like I did before, to use mind over matter. So that way I've got more HP. It's basically 1.8k there plus 2.4 there, so about 4k life. And of course, when you use Arcane Cloak, it destroys your mana, so you need to, if you watch it, yeah, the mana goes down, but you can drink some potion, or if you're in a safe spot, there is no risk involved, and you get that little boost. So yeah, at first I went this way. You know, I think I grabbed those. The resist one is pretty nice, but you go and get as soon as possible the spiritual aid. And a lot of nodes which I took was for mana, and I took everything that I could with resist basically. And I went for the block nose there because I want my minions to stick around longer. And you have some leech there too, and I think I'm gonna go this way to get the buffs to golems, so my golems are gonna regen my minions faster, and the current golem is gonna have a little boost to the team. And these nodes are pretty nice for the damage also, so I might go like this and grab those, but I could get those 2 damage nodes here, or yeah, those are juicy nodes too. The boost to accuracy can be nice, but yeah, I'm just gonna show the tree. It's a pretty simple tree. And what's nice, and I saved Alira also to have more resist, and you can see that my resist is nice, but when you watch my gear you will quickly see that I don't have that much resist. I mean, this amulet is crap, but it has a rarity on it, so that's a big plus. Yeah, this thing has a bit of resist, a lot of resist actually, and this one is not that much resist, but the rarity is so good in ruthless that that's why I'm using it. Yeah, this armor has a lot of resist, some strength, and yeah, the armor itself 957 is pretty good. So boots again, rarity, movement a bit, there's a little bit of resist. This one, yeah, you got mana and a bit of life, and this one it's pretty average. And I'm actually using 2 blue staffs and that's what you want to look for: spell damage and damage added to spells. That's what's gonna do the most damage. So each time a blue one, or of course a rare one, drops, you identify them, and at some point you're gonna end up with something similar to this. And for the potion, I like to use 2 quicksilvers, and those 2 are awful. And this one, at least it has a way to remove chilled. And I'm just gonna continue identifying red and blue potion, and maybe like hybrids, and I want to get like no bleeding and the usual stuff. And my atlas is, I'm starting to do the atlas, and what I'm gonna go is grab this node. So this way you don't use any of the notables, and for instance this is a notable, but it grants you 20 passives. So I'm just gonna grab as much as I can in rarity and of maps, and like these are neat, more pack size and stuff like that. The idea is to drop more maps, and yeah, just to sustain the maps themselves. Yeah, I think it's pretty much what I want to show. I've got some a bit of currency. Cost me like 20 chrome and half of an alchemy to get this elm going. And of course another thing I could do is just, yeah, I have 2 forlings, one for cold snap and one for creeping frost. And cold snap is pretty good when you use spell cascade, so at some point I might try for that, but right now I don't need to. It's going fine this way. So yeah, it's sort of a hybrid. Yeah, another important thing is, yeah, so you go and grab this for an extra golem. That's another golem, and now the golems are immune to elemental damage, so they're really tanky. And I went and got this thing with, you cannot reflect damage, and you get a more elemental resist. And what's neat is those little nodes add to the resistor. So yeah, the elementalist is really good in my view in ruthless. So I hope you try it out, and I'm probably gonna post some other video at some point.